should SC falter, and some believe should TCU falter. I asked Boo Corrigan whether they were locked into those positions, given that the body of work was complete. Boo said, you're asking me to project. I said, no, not really, because they're finished playing. And he said correct, but then in the aftermath has clarified that it'll be reevaluated. They're not necessarily locked into those positions. I contend that even though he said the right thing in the aftermath by correcting and backtracking, that de facto, the real truth is they are locked in those positions, and Ohio State will be the team if there is a spot open. Would you concur with that?
Oh, I mean, again, you actually made a reference to this on the show tonight. I was proud of it, that some of us root for chaos, and the chaos of Alabama leaping over Ohio State and not obviously playing would really create like the college football, like Twitter actually may go away. Elon's tried his hardest by laying off 90% of it, but no, it would actually melt down like a nuclear meltdown. Yes, the state of Ohio, which was a sad place late Saturday night, would really not have good times with that. Rece, am going to stay. I'm going to stay optimistic. You've rubbed off on me this whole season. You've sucked the Northeast pessimistic, sarcastic, dark soul out of me. I believe in chaos. I believe that enough can happen this weekend that a TCU loss makes it a really riveting debate between them and Ohio State. Now you can say, okay, one of their, you could stack their best wins, etc. But like, you objectively have to think who's the better team. If TCU played Ohio State tomorrow in Fargo, who's favored by how much?
Well, probably Ohio State's favored by a touchdown, because I think TCU is only favored by 2.5. But if you use that logic, Pete, then Alabama has to be in, because Alabama's favored against every one of those teams, I would argue, with the exception of possibly Georgia, right? Well, maybe not.
Would Alabama be favored against Ohio State? I mean, it would be a half point, or it would be less than a field goal either way.
Yeah. You know what? I had someone reach out to me about that very thing, and I'm going to dig up the email right now. Danny Sheridan.
I think this person might have reached. Oh, Danny Sheridan did. I had to reach out. Right. It's lobbying season. Kevin Warren was lobbying in the press box in Columbus. Yeah. We're starting to hear the little whispers of what if. That's good.
Okay, here it is. Here's what Sheridan has. And he also said he bounced it off some people around. Danny's an odds maker. You can take it for what it's worth. Alabama -3 against Ohio State. Alabama -6 against USC. Alabama -7 against TCU. Now, mind you, I'm not advocating or lobbying that the Crimson Tide should be in. I don't think they should be, because while, Van Pelt and I talked about this a little bit too. If they got in, could they win the national championship? Well, of course they could. Sure. But over the course of the season, you need to win the right games. You need to, if you're going to have a suspect record as they do relative to being in the top 4, you can't have as many other close calls as they did. I don't think they've done enough to get in. Now, I will also say this. I don't think there are any good options if USC loses, because Ohio State has a couple of good wins, a couple of really good wins, but that flop at the end, you're going in off of that. That's not a good option. Tennessee blasted by South Carolina, and now without their starting quarterback. That's not a good option. And I've just outlined the reason why Alabama's not a great option. But I'm going to tell you this, if SC loses, they're not a good option either. So, I say the lesser of some bad choices, if there's an option, is Ohio State. Now, when I say bad choices, I don't mean bad teams. Those are all good teams. Sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.